This bulletin is brought to you by Good Morning Pihalia. Enjoy the warmth and indulge in the deliciousness.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission arrested and detained former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak, preparing him for his big day today. First thing in the morning today, he was taken to the Commercial Crime Investigation Department headquarters for a round of questioning. That was perhaps a warm-up for his next step, which was to be brought to the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court. Now, while he was still at the CCID, Deputy Inspector General of Police Nur Rashid Ibrahim issued a statement saying that Najib could be looking at a potential 21 fresh charges, not accumulated 21, but 21 fresh charges today against him pertaining to the 2.6 billion ringgit found deposited into his personal bank account, comprising 9 charges of receiving illegal money, 5 charges of using illegal money, and 7 charges of transferring illegal money to other entities. And so, when the man of the hour arrived at the court complex, he was greeted by a crowd of his supporters led by UMNO Supreme Council member Luqman Nur Adam. Check it out.
Orang nak masuk tapi minta sana. Tak ada surat kemaran, kita tak boleh masuk.
Datuk is allowed to go in. Okay, why not you allowed him to go in? Okay, he's a veteran of Najib Razak.
So Najib has an entourage, Lim Guan Eng has an entourage, Tian Chua has an entourage, Rafizi Ramli has an entourage. Do you people have no work to do on weekdays? Seriously? Anyway, let's move on. Indeed, as foretold by the Deputy IGP, the police laid all 21 charges that they said they would on Najib today. The charges were all under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism, Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001, or AMLATFA. Really, AMLATFA. That's the actual acronym that the police use. I'm serious, okay? You can watch this press conference to see.
Di bawah Section 32 AMLATFA 2001.
Today's charges also brings the grand total all the way up to 32 charges since he was first hauled to court on the 4th of July this year. In fact, there were 4 more charges laid against him today by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission under Section 24 of the MACC Act 2009 for abuse of power during his tenure as Prime Minister. After a heated exchange in the courtroom where the prosecution was arguing that the court should not grant bail for the charges, the court finally allowed bail. The prosecution argued that if bail were to be granted, not saying that bail should be granted, but if bail were to be granted, it should be for 5 million ringgit. Najib's lawyer Shafi Abdullah argued that bail should be granted because Najib has been granted bail before, suggesting a bail of 500,000 ringgit with 2 sureties. At about 5 p.m, the bail was eventually granted at 3.5 million ringgit. However, here's the thing. If you want to post bail, you have to go to the bail office to do so. And this was the bail office at 5 p.m. Yeah, it closed shop at 4:30. For today, Najib walks free. The bail will be paid over the next few days, with Najib's lawyer assuring that the 1 million ringgit will be paid tomorrow, with 500,000 ringgit being paid in the following days every day until the bail amount is settled. The deadline to pay the bail was set at September 28.
Pertuduhan yang dilakukan pada hari ini akan memberi peluang kepada saya untuk membersihkan nama saya. Bahawa saya bukan seorang pencuri.
And now let's go to some other news also from the courtroom. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today granted an acquittal to Malaysiakini and KiniTV directors, Editor-in-Chief Stephen Gan and CEO Premesh Chandran. This is on the charges under Section 233 subsection 1 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 over uploading an offensive video on former Attorney General Apandi Ali. In an immediate reaction, Stevens said that this is a case of malicious prosecution by the former AG and it is only right that the case is dropped. He also asked how it could be a crime for Malaysiakini to cover a press conference, especially when the person who made the allegedly offensive remark on video about the former AG was not charged, which is actually a really good question. Don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, Stephen added that clearly the real target was Malaysiakini, and this was a crude and blatant attempt to intimidate journalists from reporting about the wrongdoings and those complicit in the 1MDB scandal, and hoped that such action will no longer be used against journalists in Malaysia. The by-election for the parliamentary seat of Port Dickson will be taking place on the 13th of October, with nominations being held on the 29th of September, which is actually really soon. The Election Commission announced today that there will be a 14-day campaign period and that the Commission has budgeted 3.6 million ringgit to conduct the election. This election was triggered by the resignation of the incumbent MP Daniel Balagopal Abdullah from PKR. The party has made it known that this was so that they could field their President-elect Anwar Ibrahim in the constituency for his return to the Dewan Rakyat. Anwar has also been referred to as the Prime Minister in waiting by Pakatan Harapan. Malaysia's first multi-grains brand. The champion is Good Morning. Alright, time to wrap things up. Let's talk about UMNO's new rising star Lokman Nur Adam, the same dude that assembled that big crowd outside the court complex to welcome Najib when he came in earlier. He believes that he knows why his fellow Supreme Council member Mustafa Muhammad quit UMNO. He alleged that former Finance Minister and Chairperson of the Council of Eminent Persons Daim Zainuddin had issued Mustafa with an ultimatum, which was to quit right now or be hauled to court for receiving funds from Najib, who is, as you can tell, in pretty hot soup right now. Lokman argues that there is nothing wrong with receiving funds from Najib to be used for things like Orang Asli welfare programs. He also claims that the ultimatum came after the MACC purportedly questioned Mustafa over the infamous 2.6 billion ringgit deposit that went into Najib's personal account. Okay, let's think about this. Yes, being hauled to court is a pain in the ass and all, but if you believe you're innocent, do you have anything to fear? Especially in the context of Malaysia Baru. Let's talk about it in the comments or on Twitter. Hit like, follow, subscribe and share this video. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in what charges were laid against Najib, here you go.